Welcome to the first ever episode of All Things North London. Exactly what it says on the tin, bringing you both sides of North London. Myself, Fuad, representing Spurs, as you can see. Got my bro with me, Livz Ledge, representing the Gooners.
Come on, Sony, right? What's happening? You ready?
Listen, I'm just glad they let two Somalians run wild on set. We move. But listen, make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the socials as well. That's All Things North London on Instagram. AT North London on Twitter. And listen, let's get this party started.
Let's go.
Where else to start the party than Thomas' party?
Hey.
Listen, big signing for you lot. Big signing.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Tell me your thoughts, because obviously I saw you on the Instagram doing your little shaku.
Come on, I've got
please tell me.
No other way to welcome Thomas' party. You know what I mean?
It's only right.
Ghanaian brother, you know.
What do you think of the signing? Firstly, what impact can he have? And then is he kind of like the final missing piece to this Arsenal team that kind of Arteta's been building this season?
First of all, I can say he's a great signing. You know, he's a player that we've needed. We needed that type of player that can come in. Technically good, you know what I mean? Comfortable on the ball, shows physical presence. You get,
yeah.
He's not afraid, you know, to get stuck in. And obviously, Arsenal, we've been called soft for many years. You get,
facts.
The last time we've had a strong, powerful midfielder was Patrick Vieira. And
bro, speak on it, because that's one thing I was going to ask you as well. Is he kind of like the first player? I mean, you've had a few key signings, I think, coming over the last couple of years, but for me, there hasn't been a needle mover like this since maybe Aubameyang, Ozil, Sanchez. He's of that mold. He's 27 for me, a ready-made product, proven himself in La Liga, proven to be one of the best defensive midfielders in Europe. And now he's coming in, and I feel like that position for me at Arsenal, you lot have struggled since Vieira's left. You've had Diarra, Diaby, Guendouzi.
You know, I forgot about that.
The names that you lot, Xhaka, over the years that you lot have tried to, Torreira, who's now gone on loan to Atletico. But like, is he going to be now the guy to finally fill that hole? Because that Vieira hole has been a big one for 15 years. And as you said, you lot have been called soft for years. In my opinion, I think he's the perfect player for that.
Yeah, we had that replacement, obviously, with Diaby, that Vieira replacement with Diaby. But obviously, unfortunately, Diaby had, you know,
injuries,
injuries. You get that kind of cost his career. As we all know, Diaby on his day was an unbelievable midfielder. But with Partey, I know a lot of people might look at him and be like, you know what, Arsenal got a great DM here. But I feel like he's more than just a DM. He's a box type of midfielder. You know, final third, he's comfortable. You know what I'm trying to say? He can break play down. He can ping a ball. He can shoot. He's a long range shooter. He's very, you know what I mean?
I think he's
technically inept.
Everything you lot have wanted Xhaka to be for the last 3 or 4 years. He is literally that, almost on steroids. I feel like
with Xhaka is different though. They're different type of players. Xhaka is more of a deep line type of playmaker guy. He just likes to sit.
Does he play make though?
That's the problem. His play make is that that long ball. Do you get me?
The kind of player diagonal into the channels and hope for the best.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's in my opinion. Obviously, when we first signed him, we looked at that. We got a little type of Javi Alonso type of mold player. Yeah. But obviously, in his first season, we knew he wasn't up to that level, and obviously. That was during the days of Arsene Wenger thought, that was a great signing. But it proved to be it wasn't. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It wasn't the signing that's going to help us compete.
Yeah.
I mean, although obviously,
I feel like
Xhaka's got other qualities, don't get me wrong. You know what I'm trying to say? But it's not the qualities that's needed to take us back to where we need to be. I feel like
in the last couple of years, that's what you lot tried with Xhaka, Torreira and Guendouzi. Over the last 3 or 4 years, you've individually tried to plug them in that gap. Guendouzi's now obviously gone. Yeah. You was a big fan of Guendouzi. You last season was saying, clears McTominay, he's one of the best up and coming deep. What's your thoughts on him having gone Hertha Berlin?
Yeah, with Guendouzi, obviously I looked at him as a young talent, upcoming player that can go as far as he can. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But with the issue with Guendouzi is he never had the right type of quality around him, and obviously people looked at him as that defensive midfielder type of role, but I never really saw him as a defensive midfielder. Okay. I looked at him as, as a centre midfielder that likes to control the tempo of the game. But also... So
similarly to what you wanted from Xhaka?
Yeah, slightly. But Xhaka, we knew he was kind of a DM. But we just didn't know.
I feel like both of them struggled to kind of find their identity, which is why they're in the situation they're in at Arsenal now. Yeah, I feel like Guendouzi, for the last 2 years, is he a defensive midfielder? Is he a playmaker? Nobody knows.
can
And now
play-
he's
he can
gone
play both,
for
but-
Berlin to hopefully find out what's best for him in a sense.
We can play both. Don't get me wrong. There's times he can, be a defensive midfielder, but
Yeah.
is that his strength? Is that he's the best place to play him? I don't think so. Do you
Mm.
get? With Xhaka, we kind of knew he was a defensive midfielder. We didn't really know Guendouzi.
What's the
was signed as a
midfield unit
defensive
now that
midfielder.
you want to see surrounded by Partey? Because I feel like that is probably the only area in your team now where there's question marks. I feel like right back you've got Bellerin, left back Tierney, Leno in goal. Your centre backs you've got Saliba, Gabriel, David Luiz, bit of experience. You've got countless options there. Up front you've got your front three, of course, Pepe, Aubameyang, Lacazette, Martinelli even. But that central midfield area is still question marks. Obviously you don't want it Aouar. I think Partey, perfect piece. But what do you surround Partey with now?
Well, obviously, right now, currently, we're playing that 3-4-3 system.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Arteta's going to continue to play that system or if you're going to change it up and play with a back four now. We don't know. But if we was to go with a 4-3-3 system, I feel like the best solution will be to find that right balance in midfield. Probably have Xhaka sitting and have Partey and Ceballos around him. Do you get?
Okay.
Obviously, Partey, there's legs. Do you get me? He'll
Creativity.
chase, you know what I mean? He'll break play down. He'll chase the opposition players. Do you get? And obviously, Xhaka, it can make his life a bit easier. Do you get? I feel like that can obviously help both parties.
No pun intended.
You know what I'm trying to say? I'd rather that at the moment with the current squad. But obviously, if we had an hour, then I would probably have Partey sitting, have Aouar and Ceballos around him.
Do you think the Aouar pursuit is over as well?
I don't think it's over.
Yeah.
I feel like we did have the intention to get both of them, but what I'm hearing now apparently was Aouar's brother was actually demanding a lot of agent commission fees to get over like 20 million. And obviously Arsenal were in a position to be like, we won't be held ransom. We won't be held ransom by a player agent.
Yeah.
Sorry, but we want the player, but we won't be held ransom by an agent, especially if it's your brother as well. So I think that's when they just walked away from the deal.
Couple other signings you made now was it Willian and Gabriel. How do you rate their kind of adjustment early couple days? What do you think of them? What do you think is Gabriel the solution similarly? Because at centre back, you'll have had issues for a couple of seasons now. I think, looked solid the first game or two. Then he was dropped for the game. The Liverpool game. You'd have lost that. One same here. I was kind of confused by it. I thought we started off well. But what do you think of them signings? And then also, how do you kind of grade your window as a whole? Like if you had to rate out of 10.
I would have rated it a 9 out of 10. Pushing to a 10 if we had signed Aouar as well.
Okay.
But obviously, Gabriel, we addressed that centre-back issue.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's a great signing. You give me 22 million and he's 22 years of age. I think that's still today's market. He's
bit of an unknown, considering he only broke into Lille's team midway through last year.
That's what I'm saying. But still, the quality he's shown, you know what I'm trying to say? He's gone into that Lille team.
In that time, he did show a bit of quality.
Yeah, he's gone into that Lille team, looking like he's one of the main leaders
Mm-hmm.
in that team at a young age. Big quality to have.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? So obviously, we probably looked at that and thought, that type of personnel is needed at the club. Obviously, he's a Brazilian player. Obviously, Edu's a technical director.
Listen, he's trying to bring the samba back.
That's what I'm saying. So obviously, if it's working, I don't mind because obviously with Brazilian footballers,
Willian adds an extra bit of depth. Do you think that's a kind of one that pushes the needle, or is that? Do you think
Willian? I thought that was brought for experience. Do you get me? Quality, but with experience as well. Just someone to be in that dressing room to mentor the young players like your Sakas.
Do you think that could possibly stop Pepe though? Because
no,
let's remember,
I don't think that could
that's
stop
your
him. I don't
big
think that'll stop him.
75 million, I feel like, last year. And then by signing Willian, who's, let's say, a proven Premier League player, winner's medal, you're paying him, I don't know how many, 200 grand a week or something like that.
But he's a free signing, so it ends up being
I get that. But then you're not also going to want 200 grand sitting on the bench if Pepe's playing, or vice versa, if that makes sense. I feel like you may have kind of halted Pepe's progress this season when the second season should be the one where he's more settled and breaking out.
But I feel like that gives him a wake-up call to be like, listen,
you got
to step it up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? You're at Arsenal Football Club.
Is that your feeling on Pepe this year then? It's not, we need to give you the chance. You need to earn that chance.
Yeah, you need to step up. Yeah, with Pepe, I want to see more desire on the pitch. I want to see fight. I want to see energy. I want to see that, he wants to be here. He wants to actually become somebody at the club. Do you get me? Even a future legend. And I feel like obviously signing Willian, that was like a wake-up sign.
Yeah.
Like, this is when you need to step up. And I feel like with sometimes it's good to have healthy competition to raise your game. You know what I mean? He's probably comfortable last season to be like, you know what? I'm on that right-hand side.
Yeah.
Who's going to really challenge me? It's not going to be Nelson. Do you get?
No, I hear it.
So it's
I think it's a good signing for experience, like you said. But then it's a case of, for me, how does it affect Pepe? And like you said, if it's a case of Pepe must step up, let's see it. Prove why you're a 75 million man.
That,
do you see what I'm saying?
When you're in that, when you get put in that situation,
yeah,
that proves that, you know, it shows that is the player ready? Is he ready to commit? Let's see now what he's really saying.
Similarly, like, I mean, and you said overall as a window, you rate it?
I'll give it 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. Yeah. That's fair. I mean, we had, I think, one of the most strangest windows ourselves. I mean, Spurs signing 6 players for me is unheard of as a Spurs fan. The last time that happened, Bale was leaving. Except this time what's happening, Bale was actually part of this. So for me as well, I think that this has been a mad window. I personally would give our window a 9. I think I would have definitely given it a 10 had we signed that centre-back and made it, I feel like, addressed every single problem. I think Skriniar would have been the icing on the cake. I think that's the kind of elite level centre-back I feel like
hard defending kind of need,
But I think going into the window, I wanted personally both left-back and right-back addressed. I wanted the defensive midfield addressed. And I think every Spurs fan for the last 2 to 3 years has been crying, we need cover for Harry Kane. And I think when you look at the options we brought in, Joe Hart, experience, winner, we lack that at Spurs. We're a club that haven't won anything, and I feel
Joe Hart, I'll be honest with you, obviously he's got personnel, you know, 100%. His experience, he's been in that dressing room with Manchester City.
And the thing is, I'm not expecting him to play much, but just as a presence in the dressing room, I think that's good. I think Reguilon, bargain at 25 mil. I don't care what buyback clause is included. That's a quality player. I think at right back, Doherty, you buy a player who's Premier League proven, who's shown every level in his career. When it comes to stepping it up, he can do it. I think now it's can he step it up and be... signing,
but if obviously you want to be in the Champions League, right?
100%.
It's for me. That's what he's a player that, you know, you get a big club, you go against a big team in the Champions League. Will that player prove his worth? That's the problem. For me, it's easy being a Premier League player. Absolutely, and
that's the key for him this season. For me, it's he needs to learn how to play in a back 4, because at Wolves he was playing in a back 5 at wing back. No need to really defend. Now you needed to learn to play in a back 4, and you've raised your level from League 1 to Championship to Premier League to international football. Now I need to see, can you be a Champions League player? He's what, 27, 28? Yeah. You're in the peak of your career. And when you compare it to the option we had last year in Serge Aurier was brilliant going forward, but he lacked the end product. And then he lacked the discipline in defence. So for me, I think immediately at 15 million, that's an improvement on what we've already got. So I don't see it as a negative
say it's an improvement.
That's the only way I'm looking at him and Højbjerg. I'm looking at their low risks, efficient moves. They're not meant to be blockbusters that Partey, for me, for example, if we got him, that midfield is something else. But Højbjerg, I'm like, that's 50 million. That's low risk. Premier League proven player. Let's get in someone with leadership, some bite in that midfield. We haven't had that bite in midfield since Moussa Dembele and Wanyama were there.
But Moussa Dembele was more of
a dribbler.
He would
carry the ball out as well.
In his early career during Fulham, he was always plays as that number 10, you know, second striker.
But that's what we got Lo Celso and Ndombele for. And
at Spurs, he had that centre mid role at Spurs where he was getting, you know, he had that role of, you know, I'm controlling the
100%,
Right now, obviously, with your midfield, you've got Ndombele.
Listen, and
he's still trying to pick up right now.
100%, but he's in a similar situation like Pepe, where last year you come in for the big money, there was that expectations, you didn't really live up to it for one reason or the other, and this season now, I feel like he started off brightly. I feel like he started off a lot better than Pepe has, for example, of living up to his feet. And for me, I think this season is probably going to be, I think we'll see a breakout year from Ndombele where people stand up and take notice, I think. And that, for me, will almost feel like a new signing in itself.
How far, what's his ceiling? How far would you think he can go?
For me, I think ability-wise, he can easily, in my opinion, can be as good as Pogba. That's how I see it. I think
ability-wise,
sky-wise, I think the vision, the technique, the passing, the dribbling, he's got everything in his locker to be a top-level midfielder.
But to be on the same level
by the fact that he might be at Spurs, so he might not reach that level. Listen, he will dip in like 3-4 years or whatever and become that player. I'm telling you,
just being at Spurs. Obviously, there's like, for example, you know, under Harry Redknapp, Modric. I used to look at 100%. Modric at Spurs and I'm like, it's embarrassing. I can't believe he was at Spurs. Like, the guy was just unreal. Do you get it? That's what I'm saying. I used to call Bale and Modric world-class players at that time. Do you get it? 100%. They were just unbelievable players, and I was just confused at how these guys at Tottenham. Listen, at that time.
What do you think of the Bale comeback? Because obviously I've done countless videos explaining my feelings. I'm over the moon with it. I think that's kind of the big X factor signing that we needed. The marquee one, if you want to look at. I feel like Spurs have always had quality players in Kane, Son, but that player who can do something out of nothing, we never had that. And I feel like Bale coming back lifts the dressing room, adds that bit of quality, bit of experience. But what do you think as an Arsenal man?
Look, I'll be honest
seeing him come back.
Like, look, no agenda here. Bale, obviously, great signing for you. Don't get me wrong, great signing. You know, Bale, on his day, world class player. Do you get?
Yeah.
But you know, it's a different Gareth Bale now. It's not the Gareth Bale beginning of his Real Madrid days, near the end of his Tottenham career. It's not that Gareth Bale anymore. Do you get? This is a Gareth Bale that's been through a lot. Do you get? Been through so much at Real Madrid. You know, he's had a lot of injury problems.
Do you think though he can still offer something at this level?
100%. Bale's got the quality.
Yeah.
When you've got world class ability, that will never leave you. Do you get? The question is with Gareth Bale is right now, can he stay fit? Do you get me? How can he can he adapt into that Tottenham system right now? Do you get me?
I think
where would be his role now? Because now obviously he's going to a Tottenham side now where he's not the main man like he was before. Right now he's still Kane and Son. Obviously on
when
paper,
he pulls out his medals, I think we know who the main man is.
Yeah, but I'm talking about right now. Tottenham, that's Kane's house. Do you get
it? That is,
Kane,
and I get it.
Son,
but Kane will also appreciate the fact that he can look to his left, look to his right, and see Son and Bale. I don't have to carry all the goal burdens anymore.
But how many world class players have been in the team?
He's walking in now, and I feel like that right wing slot, Bergwijn and Moura for me haven't staked their claim to that. I think, as you're right there, we won't see the same Bale of sprinting past 3-4 players and hitting a 40-yard rocket. I feel like he'll be more of a creator. I think he's going to be more of a creator. I think he'll be more of a creator. I think he'll definitely, technically, we'll see definitely more of him. But I still think people are underestimating the fact that he hasn't, I don't think, lost that explosiveness. I think fitness-wise, we can question. But I think what club better than the club that had Ledley King? We had man coming in on a Friday just to come do a little physio, and then this Saturday you're running out. So I feel like if there is a club to manage him, I think we're the ones to do it. I think this season, a lot will depend on keeping that front line fit.
Obviously, 100%. Obviously, it's kind of it's a move for him where he's looking at like, I'm going back to Tottenham. I won't really have a lot of pressure there. The fans love me.
I think he's also come with a point to prove.
Yeah,
I think the last 2 years he's been rubbed out
as well. But we're better to come home. Your point to go to Tottenham.
100%. I think the last 2 years, Madrid fans, Zidane, the Spanish media have tried to rub him out as if he's like done. I'm sorry, but nowadays at 29, 30, I don't believe a player's done. The way they look after their health and the way players have extended their careers, I feel like
Madrid,
Bale still has a lot to offer. And I think this season, I'm personally hoping he will kind of be the X factor that kind of pushes us and secures us that top 4
I feel like at Real Madrid, I feel like the issue was he was on a lot of high wages. Yeah. And I feel like the Madrid board was just trying to get him out.
Villainize him as much as they can.
They were just trying to get him out.
Does it worry you though, as an Arsenal fan, when you hear Bale joining us, you hear us making 6 or 7 signings, and you're thinking, are these men loading up for something serious? And then you compare it to your summer as well.
I don't have any... Look, with what Mourinho's doing over there, you know, it's decent for you to get, but I have no worries because I know right now we've got the right manager, you get me, the right coach that can take us further. The recruitment, the signings that we're making, it's benefiting us. We're addressing our issues. So I'm not really looking at you at Tottenham like I'm afraid or anything.
Yeah.
But I have to say the only signing that, you know, I looked at and I was like, you know what? They done well. There was probably the Gareth Bale one. The Gareth Bale was a great signing. The Reguilón was a great signing. Doherty,
Højbjerg,
still, you know, there's still question marks whether they can help actually get you to that level. Do you get me? Don't get me wrong, they've started the season well. Like obviously your 6-1 victory against Manchester United, I feel like Højbjerg had a great game.
Yeah.
Do you get me? I feel like, you know,
it was against 10 men, but
but still, like, he was
that was probably his best game so far, definitely.
So he probably, you know, that, and where else to go to Old Trafford to
boss it,
have a great performance.
And just speaking on that now, you look at the kind of transfer window's done now. You look at the squads. If you looked at kind of your front line, looked at Spurs' front line, what would you say is the more dangerous right now?
100% on paper, you got a better front three.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. Like, you know,
Gareth Bale. I respect that.
Yeah, come on now.
That's some honesty right there.
Come on now. You know what I mean? But obviously it doesn't mean you're going to, give me,
100%,
as a team, you're going to
they might
gel.
be out for 3
months. You might not gel together. You never know. You get me? On paper, it looks great.
Yeah.
It looks great on paper. But
where does it rank on paper in the league, do you think? I said it ranked second to Liverpool, and I only said that because Liverpool for me are proven winners.
Liverpool are definitely number one,
They're proven winners. They've been there, they've done that Champions League, Premier League, and I feel like when you look at the names on paper, Bale, world-class talent. Kane, one of the best strikers in the world. Son, one of the most consistent players over the last 3 or 4 years.
Son for me is world-class. Son for me is world-class.
You think he's world-class?
Yeah, I think Son's world-class.
Yeah, because a lot of people wouldn't say that.
I'm judging on ability though.
Yeah.
A lot of people will be like, how can you say he's world-class due to stats? But I'm not a stat merchant. I'm not just going to look at stats
But even if you look at his stats, he's got more than 10 goals, 10 assists most seasons he's been at Spurs.
But no, it's more time world-class players. They always get over 20 goals, and I don't think he's reached that yet.
Yeah.
This season, do you get me?
Yeah.
So that's obviously still...
Both-footed, can play either
that's
side,
what I'm saying. So
versatile.
That's what I'm saying. I'm looking at his ability. His ability is there. There's nothing he can't do.
Yeah.
But he needs that stats, just to prove
that
it.
That 20 goal a season to bump him up.
Yeah, do you get what I'm trying to say?
That's fair.
It's like, you can be a genius, you can be smart, but you haven't got a degree.
Yeah.
Do you get? When you've got a degree, it can help you. You know what I mean? You've got that on paper.
No.
So people can't take that away from you.
Oh, yeah.
But like with him, if he puts down the numbers, if he puts that down 20
that one
goals,
crazy season.
Yeah, just that number, just to have the whole of Europe be like looking at him and like, you know what? We'll take him.
If these three,
and I think that's what it is, though. I think that's what's stopping right now. There's no clubs that are really interested in it.
That's what baffles as a Spurs fan.
They're looking at stats.
I look at it and I'm like, he's one of the most consistent quality players I see week in, week out. Like the thing is, he has the work rate to go with the ability as well.
Son can have a great game without scoring.
100%, yeah. But I feel like every summer we don't see no top clubs come after him, and it always just makes me question like, why don't they come after him? Does everybody see him at that level? Because me personally, as a Spurs fan, people say I'm biased. I see him as just outside that world class cusp. I think some weeks you can think, do you know, he's had that kind of game where he is. And then sometimes you're like, he's a little bit off the boil. But I think he's a top quality player. It baffles me that we've held on to him this long. Long may it continue.
I look at him as a world-class talent in terms of his ability. Mm-hmm. He scores some world-class goals.
Yeah.
He does world-class things. I look at him, I'm like, wow. Do you get me? That is unreal. But people would then again look at him like, you know what? He's not scoring that much goals.
So you'd comfortably say the Spurs front three right now, you'd take over the Arsenal one if you had to pick one.
Obviously, on paper, it looks, you get me? It's way stronger. Okay. Don't get me wrong. But obviously, our front three's got a bit more experience in terms of, they played more together.
Okay.
We still haven't seen a front three of Bale, Kane, and Son.
We've rarely seen Pepe, Laka, and Oba together, to be honest.
That's what it is. We've seen it once. We've seen it a couple of times. Don't get me wrong. Last season,
did it work? How did it work?
It did in FA Cup final against Chelsea. Do you get me? It worked. It worked against Manchester City.
And my thing is Martinelli's coming back this season as well. Where does he fit into that now? Because you've also got Willian as well. Where does he fit into that? It's like I don't even know. I don't even think Arsenal know what their best front three is.
I feel like with Willian, like I said, he's there to be just in the dressing room. He's there to be in the squad, a part of the squad for depth. We need depth. Arteta's said it on so many times. Willian is there for experience. You get me? To be mentoring the young kids. He's there for depth.
What about Martinelli though?
Martinelli, he's obviously he got unfortunate.
Because Arsenal fans speak about him as if he's like the second coming of, I don't know, R9 Ronaldo.
No,
they were talking, they're comparing him up to the wonder kids of the world.
Bro,
I mean,
I'll say that's the young
in the FA Cup, League Cup. I get it, but I mean, let's not go overboard.
I'll say that's the young Arsenal fans that will bring up them comparisons.
I like this.
You get me? In my opinion, I feel like the young Arsenal, they get a bit carried away. They bring out R9, they see a little young talent, a Brazilian sensation, they get excited.
Yeah.
I don't blame them because when I look at Martinelli, I see hunger. I see a player that's willing to play for the shirt. He's meant to die for the shirt. You get me? He'll put in 90 minutes.
Similarly to Son, I feel like he's got the quality, but he's got that work rate and engine to go with it.
Exactly. So I look at Martinelli as, he's hungry. This boy wants to actually improve. Obviously,
what do you think the ceiling for him could be?
When I look at his ability, I can't really say he can. I don't know. It's too early to say if he can get to that world class stage. But I feel like he's more of a player where if people will be calling him world class, it'll be due to the numbers he brings in.
Okay.
Do you get me? But he's a very unorthodox type of player.
Yeah.
You get me? He's a striker. He'll face a defender and run at you. Like, he's a different type of player. Do you get me? The way obviously he's been coached at Brazil is very different, and he's bought that.
Was he playing like third or fourth division there?
But he was the
fact that he made that jump. That's what I was impressed with last season so much. Was he made this jump from like third division Brazilian football to thrown in the Premier League, thrown in the Europa League, and I saw him. And that was the thing, is I saw that hunger and energy and desire to like never give up. And I was like, you know what? If this kid can actually get some goals in there as well.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to be down.
And when we saw a couple goals in the Europa League, I was like, I'm excited, but then I want to see more. And then obviously he had a big injury. But we've touched on the squads. We've touched on the transfer windows. Let's look at the managers now. Obviously you've got Arteta. People say Teta Ball. You're building something there. You've won the FA Cup. You've won a Community Shield. What does this season look like under Arteta for me? Tell me.
Look, see with this Teta Ball.
What is Teta Ball?
Dragged, don't get me wrong, it's being dragged.
Because right now he's playing football very, very similar to Jose Mourinho.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. And I want
to hear what you think of it.
Look,
Because it's not the Arsenal way.
Okay, cool. Look, Arteta is the right coach. He's the right man for the job right now. I see what he's trying to do, but he's not done yet. His actual project is not finished yet. He hasn't really started, to be fair. Okay. I feel like he still needs to adjust the players that he wants to bring in to play what he wants. And obviously, I watched his interviews recently, and he's also said, look, I'm not even like, he was talking about the Thomas Partey signing, and he goes, Partey brings me a different type of option in that midfield. You get me? Him coming in, he can show his versatility. I can play different systems with him. He'll help. And obviously, right now we're playing that 3-4-3 system, and he's playing that because he knows it
fits the players he's got.
Yeah, it fits the players he's got, and he knows with the way he wants to play, not a lot of the players can play that way. They haven't got the ability to play the way he wants. So he's probably looking at it like, you know, we're kind of short at the back.
Let me not put square pegs in.
Yeah, we're not really solid. So you know what? Let's be
compact. Then can that change now with Partey coming in there?
That's what I'm saying. But that's still one of the signings that he's got to bring in. It's still not done yet. We'll see January what he does. But with that 3-4-3 system that we're playing, he's making us more, you know,
rigid,
compact,
robust,
more tight. Everyone's more organised. I think he's sorting out.
And you're happy with this. You don't mind seeing it as long as you're getting the
process.
Results.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a process. I know Arteta's not going to be playing that system for his whole career. No way is he going to say, listen, guys, this is what I want us to play. There's no way.
If let's say a season later now, he's got Aouar in and you're still seeing this, we need to kind of play behind the ball and then we counter with Aubameyang, Pepe, Willian, whoever it is. Would you accept that as an Arsenal fan? Because historically, Arsenal are known as the pretty football club. I wouldn't really. But then, if Arteta is getting results,
if he gets results,
can you really complain?
No, I can't complain. That's what I'm saying. If he's winning results, he's bringing in trophies with that system. I can't complain because he's doing something right. But I don't want it to be. I don't want it to come to a point where everyone's on every opposition team is actually expecting us to play like that, and we'll get found out. That's what I don't want.
You're struggling to create.
I don't want that. And obviously, looking at that loss against Liverpool 2 weeks ago against at Anfield, that 3-1 loss, that showed me that, you know, we're trying to play from the back, we're trying to build, but again, we don't have the players. You get me? Holding, Bellerin, Elneny, Xhaka, all decent players. But where Arsenal want to go, if we want to compete with the likes of Liverpool, Manchester City, and all these other top clubs in Europe, those aren't the players to get us to that level. Do you get me? And I'm not saying they're bad players because these are players that. But
that's why Arteta's having to play the system to get them in there.
Exactly, and these are decent players that, you know, you can play them with any other Premier League team and they can do bits. But when you're at Arsenal, obviously there's requirements. Do you get? Just like any other.
That's the thing for me. I feel like personally, there's going to come a time when, all right, the results are coming along or whatever. But Arsenal fans will turn, similarly to like they did with Unai after his little 16-game run or whatever, where they'll say, all right, Arteta, you've had the players now. We want to see the pretty football to go with this. We want to see the champagne. And if it doesn't come, I worry for Arteta
I'll be surprised though for that to happen.
I think he'll definitely have a long lease of life because I think he's won the FA Cup. He's brought the right mentality. He's fixed your defence to a certain extent. Yes. He's fixed the shape. So he'll definitely be given a long lease of time. But it'll be interesting to see how long you lot are still playing like this because similarly to like us under Jose Mourinho, I'm over a substance over style. I couldn't care if we're playing ugly football from now for the next 4 years. But if we're getting results, if we're achieving targets, give me that all day. And the thing is people will say, oh, no, but we want to see. No. I feel like once you start winning silverware, once success becomes a normal thing, that's when you can start demanding the pretty football. But till then, our defence has been probably our weakest area. So when Jose came in and was playing back 3, back 5, whatever it was, I said, we need this. We need to plug the holes. Similarly to like Arteta. You're saying the holdings, the Bellerins, they're not good enough. Dyer, Sanchez, expired Toby. Like these guys are not good enough if you want to be that team at the top. So when I see us playing this kind of rigid football, I get it in a sense. But then over the last couple games, I would say, I feel like with the fullbacks coming in, the fullbacks have given us such width and attacking options that we never had before. Last season, we had Davis and Aurier on either side. No width coming from that. You had Aurier, no end product. Davis can't even get up the pitch. Can't get back then when he does. It's a case of what do you do? But now Doherty and Reguilon, they give us that outlet. You've got Ndombele, finally the shackles are off. Lo Celso more settled. So this season, I'm not expecting as much as that ugly football, but I do want to see improvements slowly, similarly to like Arsenal fans. But if the results are coming along, I ain't going to give two shits.
But I feel like with Arteta's situation, you said obviously with Unai Emery, we told him, you know, listen, you're not the right man for the job. I feel like the difference between the Arteta and the Unai Emery era was Emery lost the dressing room. the players were legit confused
as
how
to
they
what
want
to
us to
do.
play. With
Yeah.
Arteta, it's clear to see how he wants us to play. I feel
Yeah.
like with Emery, the players let him down. The players actually let Emery down.
100%. I think so.
The players were confused. They didn't want to play.
They didn't buy into it.
Yeah, they didn't buy into it. And I feel like that's what kind of got Emery out. With Arteta, I feel like it'll be a point where if it's still not working, he was gonna have to knock on Kroenke's door and be like, "Listen, I need more money. I need to bring in the right type of players." And apparently with this Thomas Partey signing, with Edu, clearly said recently in his interview that was an investment from Kroenke as a belief to Arteta. And he hasn't done
that.
Like
I'm backing my man.
Yeah, do you get me? And I was shocked by that because I'm shocked.
Kroenke don't spend money, bro.
So if that's a start, I'm hoping it keeps coming because that's the only way we can improve. So I feel like that's what it's gonna come down to that. Whether I don't think it's gonna be I'll be shocked if the dressing room they don't play Arteta no more. I'll be so shocked because Arteta comes.
And you can only hope now that over the next coming windows as well, similarly to like Jose, the chairman actually puts his hand in his pocket and says, "You know what? I believe in this manager. I believe what he's doing. Let me put the funds behind him to kind of win it."
But with your like, for example, with Tottenham, I've watched your documentary and I saw I saw that relationship that Mourinho has had with Levi. Do you get me? And that's key sometimes in a football club. You need that relationship. 100%. Because there was times, when Mourinho's having issues, he'll have a little chat with Levi. And Levi is very...
I feel like Levy understands that he's almost lucky to have a winner like Jose at a club like Spurs.
Yeah, he respects him a lot.
He respects him a lot. So I think even if Jose wasn't to, for example, get top 4 this year, I think Levy knows that, now I've actually invested this summer. I sacked Pochettino, who was almost like a folklore legend. And now I brought in Jose, I backed him. I have to almost stick to this and lay in my bed that I've laid out.
But like I said, the documentary is showing, Levi is with Mourinho.
It's trusting him. 100%.
He's trusting him a lot. He's actually giving him the time of day to speak to him, and I see.
And that. You need that as a manager. I feel like that's what
we don't have. We don't have that.
Yeah,
you don't see Kroenke sitting with
Arteta. I feel like there's so many clubs where that's not happening, and that's almost a detriment where the board are kind of holding back on the managers.
Of course, but everything starts from upstairs. If upstairs is not correct, what's going to happen? And that's where Edu obviously comes in because Kroenke doesn't really want to be there.
Edu was, I'm not going to lie, very good
because Kroenke doesn't want to be a part of the institute. He don't want to be a part of the club like that. Do you get me? He obviously wants to make money off it, but I don't think he wants to be a part of the footballing
decisions.
That's why he'll employ Edu. You're a technical director. I'm going to give you that role. You sort it out. Whatever you want, contact me, speak to me. All right, I hear that. That's what it is. But with Levy, obviously he's shown a bit of trust with Jose Mourinho. He's trying to actually see how human can improve. Do you get me? He's always in the training every day.
Well.
He's speaking to the players, which is very good.
Facts.
Do you get me? It's very important because as a player, you're gonna want to feel that connection you have with the owner. Like the owner really wants us to win. Like, I can spur you lot on, but with your system, the way you're playing, you know what you're gonna get with Jose. You're gonna get that aggression football.
Listen, mentality. That's what Jose is. It's win by any means necessary football.
He's building that mentality because he's very honest with you. Like in the documentary, what did he say? He goes, "You man, like
you're nice guys.
Yeah, nice guys. Yeah,
you need to be bastards."
It was making me laugh because I remember.
And you saw that Lamella. What was that when he got Martial sent off on the weekend? Yeah. That was being a bastard there.
Now when I watch that game against
there's
United,
that bit of shithousery
I swear to God, it went into second half. When it got to the half time, I just imagine what Jose was saying in the dressing room.
Listen, he came out.
I can just imagine it because of that documentary is shown, man. But you know what you're gonna get with Jose. It's different to what Pochettino brought. Pochettino was more, possession, build up play, that technical ability. Do you get me? I want to see more pass completion. I want to see you have the ball way more.
Under Jose is
very Jose, it's that aggression football, guys. I want you pressing from the front. Do you get me? Aggression. Yeah. Don't be nice. And that's what I feel like. And that's what's cost you in how many years? So many.
I feel like mentality is what's been Spurs' biggest letdown over the last God knows how many years. I always feel like they get to that semi-final or final hurdle, whether it be Chelsea, Arsenal, United, we always just seem to mentally crumble. Whether that's because we don't have enough winners in the dressing room, whether we don't have the right manager.
Not just that, bro.
But I just feel like we're almost still the club on the outside trying to break in and become the big.
Do you know what it is? It's the history of the Tottenham.
Listen, hey, it's the facts of the matter though. Like, we haven't broken that hurdle yet. We're still trying to be a big club. And I think that's what Jose is literally been brought in for. It's switched the mentality from being small guys, nice guys, and develop that underdog siege mentality to actually push you over that hurdle.
Also, being a bigger club, you're also trying to, improve your brand, make your brand 100%, bigger. That's why you're doing these documentaries.
Jose's part of that.
That's helping, people that don't know what goes on in Tottenham. it's showing what's actually happening. Like there's even a couple of people that I've spoke to about it, and they're not even big football fans, but they said, I actually kind of like Tottenham after watching that.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's their job. That's what they wanted to be.
That's exactly how they sold it.
Obviously, that's the level. That's why Manchester City, they're not big. Obviously, they're trying to become a big club.
They even try and make a documentary. Anyone interested in that?
You will never see Arsenal doing something like this.
Yeah.
You'll never see Manchester United doing something like this. You'll never see.
No, Man United for greed purposes.
Manchester United are so much bigger of a club. You'll never see them doing a documentary.
All things North London.
It's example. It's example. Do you get me? Like,
I hear.
The tradition is there already. Do you get me? That sells itself. With you lot, there's no tradition there. There's no honours. Do you get me? There's no history there. Same with Manchester City. You having to build that.
We need to build it. Yeah.
So how right now in modern day football, this is how you're going to get.
Speaking of which, now for this season, now we've discussed the clubs, we've discussed the managers, we've discussed business. Let's settle predictions for the season. First episode, it's only right. Where do you think Arsenal and Arteta finish this season in the league? Give me a number. I want to hear it.
You know what? I'm going to be, with the way the season's going, Chelsea, there's still question marks there. I know they've spent big,
There's a lot of gelling to be
done.
Yeah,
there's a lot of gelling to be done. I feel like Lampard, I don't think he has the right idea of the way he wants Chelsea to play.
Agree.
Like this, I look at them, I just feel like they're just freestyling.
A year and a half, I still don't know what Chelsea.
I still don't know what it is, and I feel like obviously with Lampard, I remember last season I gave a lot of credit to Lampard, but when I really deeped it, I kind of gave a bit more credit to what's his name, Jody Morris, because I actually saw the work.
Why? That is kind of random.
With Jody Morris, he's a man that's obviously he's worked his way up. Do you know what I mean? He's been coaching the youth.
He's been
at Chelsea for a very long time.
Nonsense.
No, but he's been obviously that's his character. Do you know what I mean? But Jody Morris as a player was a hard man.
Yeah.
He was a Chelsea man, proper Chelsea man, and obviously he's done a lot of work with the Chelsea.
He got sacked off as soon as the money coming, I say.
Obviously, different time, innit? Obviously, time went.
There's levels in quality.
But obviously, he still had that job as coaching the youth players. I feel
so you'd give last season more credit to Jody than Lamps?
No, he's 100%. He's helped.
But where do you think you finish? Forget Chelsea for a second. Where do you think you finish?
We'll finish.
Oh, stop deflecting to Chelsea.
No,
I want to focus on you, man.
No, I've got a lot to say about Chelsea, man.
Forget Chelsea. This is all things in North London, not West.
I'll say top 4.
You think you make a top 4?
I think we should make top 4. Because obviously, Manchester United, I don't know right now. With the way they're going, if they keep Oli, not really, they still haven't addressed their issues, I still felt like they need a new back 4. They grabbed the left back, Alex Tellers, still to see if
Cavani, goal getter.
Cavani, is a striker. But I still feel like they needed new 2 centre-backs, that a defensive midfielder, that could just sit, give Pogba.
Do you not think, though, like you look at all of those teams, you look at Spurs, Chelsea, United, Arsenal, I think they all have them same centre-back issues.
I feel like but
just because you've got Gabriel, I don't think your centre-back issues are gone. Like, you've still got them there. You were just saying Rob Holding, David Luiz, Socrates,
David Luiz,
Mustafi, they're still there.
No, but I don't think Socrates won't play anymore.
Do you think there's more chance of you getting top 4 through the league or Europa?
I'll say it depends. If we focus on the league, I think we can achieve that. That is a goal.
You think you'll get top 4 even despite being in all those cups as well?
It's a choice because remember we still got January as well. January transfer window.
True.
Could spend. If things don't go well, we could spend. That's an option for us to spend. But looking at it now, I feel like it'll probably be Liverpool to win the title again. City to probably come second, and probably have Arsenal and Spurs to come third.
Okay.
And maybe Chelsea and United to come fourth. But I'll give it to Chelsea. I feel like Chelsea just have a bit more about it than they with United. I feel like United, they're still lost.
Any cups being won this year?
Cups
FA Cups, obviously, you're the grandfather.
FA Cup, we're always going to be in contention for that. That's our trophy. Carabao Cup, we've got City. If we can beat City, if we knock City out, we've got every chance to win that trophy.
That running looks,
Europa League, again, we'll just have to see when we get past the group stages.
You
know what I mean? Obviously, I'm confident we're going to win the group. 100%. We'll always win the group in the Europa League. But if we can get, good ties in the knockout phases, then we can. We can actually have a chance of finally winning the Europa League. Yeah. Man, I'm a bit confident. It's still a bit of time. It's still early though to say all of this.
Optimistic.
Do you get me? Yeah, I'm feeling optimistic.
Hey, after a good window, I think both clubs have reason to be optimistic. Me personally, I think after the signings we've made, I can only see us finishing top 4 one way or another. I feel like Champions League football will be back next year at Wild Lane. Whether that be we win the Europa, which I know Jose kind of loves, he would love to do, I think, and then all finish in the top 4, if that kind of be the case. But I think there will be some form of domestic cup run, I'd like to think. But I'm looking at basically one way or another this season. I need Champions League football to be back at Spurs. Whether that be top 4 or Europa League, I think one of the two will definitely happen.
Europa League.
Again, I'll take that. For me, that will take silverware
for you, 100%.
Silverware, and then straight path into the Champions League. I'll take that all day.
I don't know. I can't really say if you.
And I'd love it if we played you in the final. I'm not gonna lie. That would be the icing on the cake. But listen. That's the first episode for all things North London. Appreciate you joining. Make sure you're subscribed. Like the video if you like it. Drop some comments. Let us know what you want to see in the future. We'll be doing game reviews. We'll be doing player ratings. Might even do some live watch-alongs at some point. But hey, listen. That's it. This week, we're out.